Alright guys, welcome back to the channel, welcome back to another video. We have some news for you. So like a week ago, just over, I made a video of everything coming to Global Dokkan that we know so far. And it looks like we're going to be getting the thank you celebration all too soon. So on Global Dokkan right now, if you go to the news, in fact, I've already claimed mine doing some link leveling stuff. But you can currently get and complete Dokkan Thank You Countdown Special Missions and earn up to 5 Dokkan Festival tickets by completing these missions. Now, if you don't know what the Thank You missions are for and the Thank You Dokkan Festival tickets are for, that's what Global's version of Tanabata is. Tanabata Celebration on JP is Global's version of the Thank You Celebration. Where of course this year we're going to be getting the best unit in the game, which is LR Vegeta and Trunks, and part 2, which is meant to be LR Merge Zamasu. However, because of scheduling, it looks like we are going to be getting, if we scroll down right now, you can perform the summon on the Dokkan Festival tickets on Friday, the 4th of November. So next Friday, you can perform these summons, which means next Friday is when we should be getting the LR Vegeta and Trunks. So it looks like we're going to get part 1 of Tanabata, part 1 of the thank you celebration in technically early November. And then halfway to midway, or no, halfway to like the 20th of November is probably when Heroes is going to drop. And then December, I'm not going to lie, December is currently up in the air. December, they could bring something forward, they could move some stuff around, we could see the resurrection of F Blues, or because of scheduling on Global and, you know, the JP anniversary being in what, like February? And the Gammas also recently just dropping and them not really having, you know, too lengthy of a celebration, we could potentially see a Beast Gohan coming to Global Dokkan in December. I'm not sure how likely it is, I'm not sure how much of a possibility it is, I'm not certain, I'm just saying as a theory, it is currently up in the air that we could potentially see Beast Gohan be here on Global Dokkan in December. But that's a topic, that's a conversation for a different day. I said nothing is certain, it could possibly happen. Which is crazy, because that's another insane Dokkan Fest to drop with all the amazing units that are coming out. But next Friday, we should be getting LR Vegeta and Trunks, and then we'll kind of transition into Heroes. So it is going to be likely, or not even likely, it is going to happen, or, you know, the fact that we're not going to be getting Merge Zamasu with LR Vegeta and Trunks because of this. So we could easily see LR Merge Zamasu kind of tossed in as like filler, or potentially kind of like last year, we're going to be getting LR Merge Zamasu probably like during January at some point. Again, probably as filler at some point. So if you really wanted him, you was going to summon for him, because he is one of the better yellow/gold coin LRs in the game, then you've got some saving to do, which is kind of good. But it does mean we're getting LR Vegeta and Trunks on Global next Friday, literally off of, not yesterday, today's Sunday, a couple days ago on Friday, literally a week later from when the Gammas dropped. So yeah, we're getting hit on Global back to back with insane units. I'm not gonna lie, there has been no rest for us Global players right now. No rest whatsoever. We've had the Annie, we've had Worldwide, you know, now we've got the Gammas, who of course everyone was hyped for, and then next week we're gonna get LR Vegeta and Trunks, then followed by the Super Dragon Ball Hero celebration. So I hope you lot are going to get very, very lucky so you can save as many stones as possible, or you're picking and choosing where you spend your stones wisely. So I'm going to quickly go over again what they do, just in case some of you are like, well, I don't know about this unit, you don't pay attention to JP, why is this the best unit in the game? So they're a bond of parent and child or Future Saga 170 lead. They give the additional HP, attack and defense to Battle of Fate. It's a pretty good category. The main part of why they're leader skill, because they literally, their whole kit is what makes them so good. Their whole kit is honestly ridiculous. There's not one part where it's like, okay, you're sick because of this. No, they are generally an insane unit in every single aspect. Their 200% lead is pretty good, more so the bond of parent and child and Battle of Fate portion of it. However, their 170 lead of just bond of parent and child is one of, if not the best categories in the entire game, because you have every single like top tier unit on one category, which not only increases the longevity of a lot of other units, LRG and Trunks themselves, but it just, as I said, it increases the longevity of other units. It makes other units have more of a shelf life, even though they probably already had one, like for example, the Year 7 LRs. But to have them all on one category with one of the best units in the game is kind of insane. Not to mention as well, my boy Margin Jeets gets a little bit of a... I don't want to be disrespectful and say revival, but he gets a bit of a buff because of this category. But look at some of the units we have. LRUI Goku. Yes, he's aged a bit, but now that we're getting more red zone stages where you can dodge and counter, and you know, by this point a lot of you probably have some dupes. I know I do myself. He's amazing on this category. He's so good. So good. Yes, he's aged, but he's still very good. You know, these two have Easy A's pending, where they're probably going to be insane. Easy A, LRS Straightforward, Goku and Vegeta are two of the best Easy A's in the game. Even Goten and Trunks, you probably won't use them here, but they're still a very good unit. LR Birdku, currently top 3 unit in the game. LR SSJ Goku and Gohan, one of the best yellow/gold coin LRs in the game. Year 7 Gods, Year 7 SSJ 4s. While the Tech Gogeta is aged, still a pretty good and useful unit for red zone in some cases. Namitku, Year 3 LR Vegito, and also Year 3 Easy A LR Gogeta as well. LR Kaioken Goku's here, LR Strength Vegito. Who else do we have? Even this guy, again, free-to-play unit, you may not use him in red zone, but he's still a good unit. We've already gone through them. You have Kid Gohan, you also have the likes of, who else is in here? Easy A SSBE. You have the Easy A SSJ4s, the older ones. Then you have the likes of... Even Tech God Trunks is in here. Potentially, in fact, considering we know that we're probably going to be getting, what, the Limit Breaker SSJ4s for heroes, they're going to go in this category as well, so hopefully they're insane. Tech Ultimate Gohan, one of the best aging units in the game. Tech God Goku, one of the best Easy A's in the game. Even Easy A Full Power SSJ4 Goku. I mean, just look at the category, man. It is honestly just stacked. It is stacked with some of the best units in the entire game. This Kid Goku, who eventually Global will get probably sometime next year, one of the better units in the game. And as I said, even my boy Margin Jeets gets a major buff on this category. You know, everyone's always like, you know, you can't get his damage reduction, I have to use a terrible Kid Trunks unit. You do not have to on this category team, because of course the main unit, or the, you know, LR Vegeta and Trunks, has a Trunks unit in the name, which means even if you're not picking up 6 orbs to get his damage reduction, you're gonna constantly have that, what, 20% as a standard, because you actually have a good Trunks unit, or at least a Trunks unit in the name, constantly on the team at all times. And you'll have 2 of them because you'll probably run dual leads of LR Vegeta and Trunks. So that helps him and buffs him massively in terms of how good he can really perform. He works so well in this category, and it honestly gives him a new lease of life. But in terms of the rest of the kit, 12 key, they stack. Oh no, sorry, no. 12 key, they raise attack and defense by 30%. 18 key, they stack by 20%, but they stack. Don't forget they're an LR, so the fact they don't stack by 30% isn't too bad. They do stack attack and defense, which is great. They also have an entrance animation, which looks very good. They get key +2 in defense, +70% on gods all attacks for 5 turns from the start of turn, when there is another bond of parent and child category LR attacking in the same turn, which is very easy because if you're running dual LR Vegeta and Trunks leads, you're going to be running a bond of parent and child team, so it's very easy to get this active animation, sorry, not active animation, entrance animation off. Then at the start of turn, they get key +2 in attack and defense +140. They launch an additional attack. There's a medium chance of becoming a super attack. Of course, getting additional is very nice because then you can stack in 1 turn and then raise your attack and defense as well by 30% for 1 turn on top of that. Just for a little bit extra damage and a little bit extra defense while having that guard active. And I bet if you're sitting there wondering, or being like, well, that's only guard for 5 turns. Don't worry, we're getting there, but they do have built-in guard anyway. This is just extra. They also get an additional key +1 up to 5 in defense, +15% up to 75%, and a chance for a critical hit up to 35% with each attack received. Now, because they have guard, which as you can see here, they get an additional attack and defense +70% and guards all attacks as the first attacker on a turn. So that's literally where they have their guaranteed guard. If you put them in slot 1, they always have guard and the extra attack and defense, which is very nice at helping them do extra damage and just tank all a bit better, even though they're going to be tanking very well anyway. And don't forget, on top of that, they're going to be stacking as long as you get their 18 key off on top of that as well. You know, if you ever like need to shimmy some things around or have them in slot 2 or slot 3 briefly, at least they'll have that guard for 5 turns as well when you have another Bond of Parent and Child category ally attacking in the same turn from the entrance animation. But yeah, even at 55%, they have a 35% chance to crit. You build up the key to 5, which is very handy considering they're an LR, on top of the fact they're going to be getting key +2, and then another key +2 on top of the entrance animation when, again, there is another Bond of Parent and Child category ally attacking in the same turn. So it's going to be relatively easy constantly getting their 18 key off and getting them to stack up as much as possible. Again, on top of the fact they're going to be guarding as long as you have them in slot 1. So yes, they are one of the best units in the game because not only do they dish out some very nice damage, but they also tank some of the hardest hitting bosses in the game, but not too much. But yeah, that 35% crit chance definitely helps them do more raw damage to enemies, but very nice considering, again, at 55% you have a 35% chance to crit on an int type unit, of course, where at free dupe you wouldn't have the chance to add an additional or a crit unless you put on skill orbs and equips. So that 35% chance to crit is very nice. Not to mention as well, is from from each attack received, which, considering they have guard in slot 1 and you think about the amount of attacks that come in harder content like Super Battle Road and especially Red Zone, there's usually a plethora of attacks that happen during slot 1. A lot of the time the super is in slot 1. And then you have these guys with their guard. So building up the extra key, the defense and the crit chance, going to be very easy because they're going to be the ones sponging all the damage for the most part in slot 1 anyway. So building that up will take you literally no time whatsoever, and you only need to be hit, what, 5 times in total. So yeah, you could probably get that built up off of like 1 turn, literally 2 at a push. They also have an active skill where they massively raise attack temporarily, causes ultimate damage, and all attacks become critical hits for 1 turn. So yeah, in terms of the amount of damage they can deal, considering how good they are defensively and stacking, it's kind of nuts. They also raise allies' defense by 20% for 1 turn. It's not a lot, but you know, in Red Zone where you need units to be able to tank relatively well, I don't think anyone's going to complain about having some extra defense. The active skill conditions can be activated starting from the 3rd turn when all allies attacking in the same turn are Future Saga, which, to be fair, there's some decent Future Saga Bond of Parent and Child units. Of course, if you're going for a full-blown Future Saga Battle of Fate 200% lead or just a Future Saga 170 lead, obviously that's going to be very easy to get off and those are very good active skill conditions. However, a lot of the time you're going to be running the Bond of Parent and Child portion of the category for the most part. And if you don't fulfill these conditions, there is an either-or condition or and-or condition, which is when your HP is 50% or less starting from the 5th turn from the start of battle, which is not bad. Again, when you consider this is an and/or condition, it's not bad to have it by the 5th turn. And getting your HP down to 50% or less in Red Zone, especially with some of the hardest hitting bosses in the game like Broly or Cooler Court, should be relatively easy. But when you have a team filled with tanks, not sure how likely you'll get your HP down this low. You may get near to it, but I don't know if you'll ever get that low, considering how many good tanks are actually on this team. Then they have a very good link set as well. Saiyan Warrior Race, Super Saiyan, Royal Lineage, Prepared for Battle, Fierce Battle, Legendary Power. They also have Dismal Future. But a lot of these are common links for some of the Dokkan Fest, or the majority of Dokkan Fest, especially like Saiyan Dokkan Fest. So getting them linked to some of the best units in the game are going to be relatively easy to do when you consider they have Legendary Power for the LRs, Fierce Battle, Prepared for Battle, Insane Warrior Race, and even Super Saiyan. And they also go on Future Saga, Time Travelers, Join Forces, Vegeta's Family, Bond of Master and Disciple, Battle of Fate, and Bond of Parent and Child. So yeah, that is why they are the best unit in the game currently on JP, and will be in a week's time when they drop on Global. The only downside is their banner is like, it is arse. They also get a side banner Goku Blackcon with them, who's pretty decent. He's pretty solid. He works well with the EZAs that are going to be coming during the celebration, which of course I've already gone through in the Everything We Know Is Coming to Global video, which eventually when they get revealed and everything, I'll go through everything that's coming during the celebration anyway, and things like that. On top of it, you know, when you think about it, you've got EZA Rose, the Strength Rose, EZA Rose and Zamasu, who are one of the best EZAs in the game. Would be LR Merge Zamasu as well, but obviously that's going to be moved to probably December, January time now, because of global scheduling. But still, he's a pretty good side banner unit. Tech Vegeta, who again has aged quite a bit, but still has some uses in red zone, especially because of that scouter, the damage reduction. Definitely needs help with a lot of dupes, so I mean, that is quite valuable personally for me. We have Blue Boys, who, nah. Same can be said for the Gohan and Goten, who really do need an easy A at this point. Super Saiyan, Goten, and Trunks, who I still don't have. Funnily enough, I don't have. They're still not bad. They're solid. You have Tech K and Caulifla, who at 55% are okay, but dupes definitely help them, just like the Gogeta, who also I don't have. They don't have many uses, but to be fair, they're not bad in harder content if you get them going. And again, especially that's why dupes really do help them. But at 55%, they're okay. Strength Kefla, who I think is arse. I really do not like her whatsoever. SSBK is literally the epitome of a glass cannon at this point, and he's aged quite a bit. And even in terms of damage. And then you have Ink Goku Black, probably one of the worst released Dokkan Fest we've ever seen, and is in dire need of an easy A. So yeah, you have in total on this banner, without even including the 2 new units, in total you have 8 featured other units, including the 2 new units, and of course the main prize being Vegeta and Trunks. You have a total of 10 featured units on this banner. So in terms of actually being able to pull them, your chances are looking a little bit slim, and just in general, as I said, there's not a lot of value on this banner. The banner is kind of cheeks, but considering how good they are, and as I said, how much longevity they have for other units, they give my boy Marja Vegeta a whole new lease of life. You know, they keep the year 7s even more relevant than they already are. They help so many units and put some of the best units in the entire game on one category. Them themselves bring so much value to the banner, it's crazy. And I know a lot of you, probably just like myself, are probably going to ignore how doo-doo the banner is and still summon anyway, which I will not blame you on whatsoever. But as you can see, the banner isn't too great outside of maybe 1.5 units. The only reason why I say 1.5 is because these guys need dupes. So if you end up pulling your first copy, it's kind of like but you could probably find some uses here and there, even though there's not many. But yeah, the banner is absolute cheeks. But yeah, there we have it. The LR Vegeta and Trunks will be coming next Friday, which is kind of mad considering global literally this Friday, literally a week prior to these guys coming out, we had the Gammas drop. And yeah, it's not giving us a whole lot of time to kind of have some breathing room and build the stone count back up. But yeah, it's kind of crazy. Don't forget, Merger Master will probably be coming out at a later date, most likely January. And of course, once these guys drop in early November next week, then we're going to go into the Dragon Ball Hero stuff. So yeah, that is all the info I wanted to bring you guys. Don't forget to drop a like, subscribe if you're new, let me know down in the comments. Will you be summoning for LR Vegeta and Trunks next week? I'll see you in the next video, and peace.